style of bartending is fascinating experience to me. Their cocktail culture is incredible. It's a true art. They concentrated on making one drink at a time, and if you go to proper Japanese bar, they are really small, as little as 4 seats, and it feels like visiting a tea ceremony. They focus in on ingredients, balance, precision, technique, and definitely elegance. As you already figured, I'm not a Japanese bartender, but while making most popular Japanese cocktails, I will try to use some of their technique. First, let's make a highball. Simple, it's only 2 ingredients drink, but requires some tedious steps. We need to use a perfectly carved spear of ice that I cut from the large block, stir it in the highball until frost appears on the glass. Let's turn the music off and enjoy this beautiful sound for a few seconds. Next step, remove all the water from the glass. They usually chill shakers and mixing glasses before adding ingredients, also keeping base spirits, like whiskey here, in a freezer so they reach the ideal temperature with less dilution. Another thing, usually they place all necessary ingredients in front of the guest before making a drink and don't use pour spouts. You're supposed to use high quality Japanese whiskey for a perfect highball. It was my first time trying it and I couldn't believe how smooth and full of flavor this whiskey is. Felt like I could drink it instead of water every day. Oh, they actually not the cheapest whiskey out there. For example, this average bottle of Japanese whiskey cost $90. Yeah. And Hibiki 17 years old that I supposed to use for this highball cost pretty much like an iPhone 12. Using jigger, I pour 1.5 ounce of Hibiki. When whiskey is added, the drink should be stirred exactly 13 times clockwise. What? Okay, so I think I did 13, right? Well, I'm definitely good at counting your like though. Next is also a very important step. When you add soda water, avoid bouncing off the surface of the ice, so you need to pour slowly between the ice and the side of the glass. Very gently stir it with a spoon 1 or 2 times only. Japanese bartenders always use minimal garnish for most of their drinks, so to finish our highball, we need to squeeze a lemon zest. Let me show to you how you also can make a whiskey float highball. Here the same, quality of ice and quality of glass are equally important. They use super thin glasses called usuhari, only 0.9 millimeters, really smooth and bring a gentle touch to your lips. Chill the glass with ice until frost appears. First pour soda water, also avoid bouncing off the ice surface. You can use bar spoon and pour from the bottle, or like I'm doing here, pour 1 ounce of whiskey from the jigger on top of the ice, so whiskey will be floating on top. Squeeze some oils from lemon zest and Japanese whiskey float is ready. Let me know in the comments which version do you prefer to make and drink, first or second. Japanese bartenders are incredibly dedicated to ice, size, temperature, clarity, and they're probably most known for hand carving ice spheres and diamonds. If you order whiskey at the Japanese bar, it could take like 20 minutes to make it since they shape in ice individually for each serving. They don't use ice machines, you can get clear ice at the vending machine in Japan. Imagine here you're like, hey, let me go to gas station and grab some ice for a pool party and bring bag of clear ice spheres or cubes. Okay, I'm using an ice pick to break large block on smaller pieces, then with sharp knife it's almost the same as pretty much cutting a soft butter. If you prefer, you can use gloves, but make sure a cube won't slip away from your hands. Definitely use as clear ice as possible, put in a towel or cutting board and cut each side of the cube from top to bottom. Then cut sides with 45-degree angle or close to that. Well, maybe first one wouldn't come out perfectly, but with sharp knife and about 10-15 minutes of practice, it will be a lot better than regular ice cube. Well, diamond shaped ice great not just for aesthetic purposes, it sure looks beautiful, but large piece also slows dilution. This technique is best to use to serve premium whiskey or cocktails such as Negroni or Old Fashioned. Okay, since we just learned how to carve ice, let's make another ice spear really quick and sharp corners just to make it slightly different. Umeshu Tonic is popular Japanese cocktail, so Umeshu is often referred to as a plum wine. It's actually a traditional Japanese liqueur made from ume fruit, which is Japanese plum. It's sweet and tart with notes of almond. I will be using pre-chilled highball glass. On our ice spear, pour 1.5 ounce of Umeshu, or is it Umeshu? Well, if you speak Japanese, can you please let me know if I pronounce it correctly? You already know this technique, so fill up glass with tonic water, should be around 3 to 4 ounces, and lightly stir it with a spoon. Garnish is optional, but just for aesthetic purposes, I will take one ume fruit from the bottle and put it in a glass. Since you already have a bottle of Umeshu in your home bar, we need to make something stronger, so next one will be Umetini. It's made with 7 parts of Umeshu and 3 parts of gin. Strong but a very tasty cocktail, kind of Japanese twist to the classic martini. In the chilled mixing glass, I pour 1 ounce of gin and 2.5 ounces of Umeshu. Then fill up glass with large ice cubes and stir. Japanese bartenders spend a lot of time on training, and not only ice cutting of course, they can practice for months on this stirring martini before they actually allow it to make a drink for guests. Stirring quietly without clinking glass sound, well, like we normally do here, is pretty enjoyable. Let's turn the music off and try to stir quietly. Using a julep strainer, pour everything into martini or coupe glass. There are no garnish, but I need an excuse to eat another ume, so I will garnish with 1 plum. Next is going to be by far my favorite cocktail, and you will want to make it right after watching this video. We already know how Japanese bartenders are extremely dedicated to technique, and they invented famous Japanese hard shake, designed for maximum aeration without over-diluting the drink. Hard shake makes the drink lighter and easier to drink. We need to shake this drink, but it's pretty challenging technique. I will make a dedicated video about it and post on our YouTube channel, Next Level Bartending. Hope you guys can visit me there. We need 2 ounces of Japanese whiskey, supposed to be hibiki, but we'll save it for part 2. While blended whiskey toki is a lot more affordable, let's use it for our Matcha Highball. Next, half ounce of fresh lemon juice, half ounce of honey syrup. As already showed to you, it's just 1 part of water and 1 or 2 parts of honey, depends how sweet you like. 1/4 tablespoon matcha green tea powder. It gives aromatic, rich flavor to this highball. Matcha powder tends to clump when mixed with liquid, so we'll need to shake it well. Now I will put 1 large and 1 medium-sized ice cubes and will hard shake for 15-20 seconds. Strain everything from the shaker into chilled highball glass with ice spear, and I will pour 2 ounces of soda water. Lightly stir it a few times with a bar spoon. To make garnish, I will use my 67 layers Damascus steel Japanese knife, cut thin lemon wheel, and place it right on top of the matcha highball.